Today is 16th of August, market opened with a huge gap, and after the initial hour move, market was actually stuck in a trailing range, up 37.3352. Despite the huge moves, we do not see significant increase in volumes. This is a sign of weakness, and usually after a very severe sell down like this, we do expect a couple of wild swing. So you'll take some time before the dust settles. Our immediate resistance is actually at this level, which is actually quite close. This is at 3369. Support is actually at this level here, was visited recently on both occasions. That is about 3315. Notice it's actually trading below the SMA, or rather with the downward pointing SMA. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Very strong upward move. If you take a look at the daily charts, you can see this perhaps is very much like a relief rally. Things did not turn out as bad as what it was earlier assumed. But again, this style of move is usually non-sustaining. We do expect a downward swing. The fact that we are able to recover above this resistance level, this is an important development. So going forward, it may well consolidate sideways and perhaps form a base like this. You can see that in also Nasdaq, which is has a more violent move. So you can see actually a very huge bar. Again, on the daily charts, you can see very directional upward move. In fact, we have a gap as well, approaching very obvious resistance. So a pullback is actually in order. It's not unexpected. This is a Brent crude. Managed to actually recover some lost ground, but it's more likely to be stuck within this level here. So going forwards, you can see it's approaching this congestion area here. So it's likely to be trading between $80 to $84. This is a 10-year treasury yield. Mentioned previously that actually had a downward bias. It actually broke the lower channel line, followed by a throwback, which is not unexpected, testing this downward trend line, which offer a resistance, and we expect a downward swing. But this downward swing appeared to be quite short-lived, and we see another upward swing. Now this level here would offer a resistance. The fact that we have strong upward move here, it does benefit some of the banks. Let's take a look at some of the stocks we'll be discussing and let's review. This is DBS. This stock actually has served us very well since this breakout, and mentioned before, it is better to look at the weekly charts. And this was the initial break that we have discussed previously, and this is a largest bar of all the other bars, so it appeared to be overextended, and we see a wide range reversal bar. With a deep sell down like this, again you expect violent move, and this is what we are seeing right now. The fact that it's actually trading a doji after the huge gap with low volume, right? We do not see a very significant increase in volume. It's a sign of weakness, and we do expect a correction, a pullback from here. Notice 1326 are actually pointing downwards. So it's actually not tradable at this point in time, and perhaps will take some time for it to normalize. OCBC appeared to be more subdued in its movement. So notice after this direction downward move, you managed to actually find support and you actually bounce off from here. So again, this is just a throwback. UOB appeared to be much weaker. Notice today move itself so was not able to close well. So more likely it may actually do a couple of swing, consolidate sideways. And after the consolidation, we'd like to see what happens. Ultimately, you have to resolve through a breakout. So the bank is probably the best to be left alone. Singtel appeared to be a better bet. This is the dividend gaps, and if you add this, it's actually making a new high, followed by an inside bar on very low volume. I'd like to see a break above this high here of 302. Sets. Again, this stock will need some time to normalize. Notice we have a compressed retracement here, managed to actually move up, but unfortunately today it did not actually close well. So again, more likely to trade sideways. We like to see the stock form a base and eventually look for the eventual break. SIA managed to actually find a bottom after a very severe sell down after the release of result. If you notice successive low, and over here if you notice the bar gets smaller, so it's actually selling is drying up and we see an upward move. Today bar is more like a pause. It may continue to move upward, but remember this is just a counter trend move. 1326 is actually positioned downwards, and perhaps after the counter trend moves we can identify setup to short. Yangtze appeared to be lackluster despite a strong move a few days ago. So this here we had a very strong move, testing the resistance and followed by pullback. Alright, we prefer a shallow pullback. Unfortunately, it is not shallow. The only consolation is that the volume is actually quite low. Again, it may trade sideways. I'd like to see eventually take out this high here of 274. Now the small cap stock appear to be actually performing better. This is Centurion. Now this appeared to be an aberration. So you notice there was a trend line break and it managed to actually recover very quickly. The gap up followed by a pullback. If you take a look at this pullback itself, volume extremely low. So this is a healthy sign. Currently a small deeper setup bar high here, 67 cents. Now we just have to be mindful that actually the stocks has been trading for quite some time. So it's a bit matured. So any break on the upside, we got to just temper our expectations. This is dynamic. Very strong up move followed by pullback on lower volume. At this point in time, a small deeper setup bar high is at 625.